financially responsible while carrying out a program to improve Jamaica's economy continues to be one of the hallmarks of government. In June of this year, the government had a non-deal roadshow in the United States and Europe to tell stakeholders about Jamaica's progress under the economic reform program and boost investor confidence. That objective was achieved. On July 23, the government raised $2 billion through a bond offer, the highest ever in a single transaction.
This strong interest by the international capital markets demonstrates investors' confidence in Jamaica and specifically in the economic reform program and the various initiatives this administration has already implemented and which it plans to implement in the future.
It's not that we are borrowing more money and digging a deeper hole for ourselves. We really borrowed those funds in order to pay off a much larger debt.
So what's the purpose of the $2 billion? Well, $500 million will be used to make government bond payments of 62 billion Jamaican dollars. That's due in February 2016. That payout will give banks more money to lend to individuals and will drive a reduction in interest rates. The remaining $1.5 billion of the $2 billion raised on the international capital markets was used to fund the Petrocaribe debt buyback. Let's break down the issue. Under the Petrocaribe agreement, Jamaica pays Venezuela upfront for a portion of the oil it receives from the country. If the oil price exceeds $40 per barrel, Jamaica should pay Venezuela the remainder of the money 25 years after at an interest rate of 1% per year. Now, Jamaica and Venezuela formally entered into the Petrocaribe agreement in 2005. That means Jamaica would not need to pay for a portion of the oil it received in 2005 until 2030. But things happen, and each country has to adjust its economic plans to suit its current needs. So Venezuela said, Jamaica, if you buy back or pay off your debt under the Petrocaribe agreement before the deadline in 2030, you will receive a discount.
So we can take approximately $1.5 billion US and buy back approximately $3 billion US of debt from Petrocaribe from Venezuela. So you're really, in a way, buying back the debt pretty cheaply.
And so the government took up Venezuela's offer, using the $1.5 billion we spoke about earlier to clear arrears as at December 2014.
These transactions, which were successfully completed, are for and will be to the benefit of the Jamaican people.
Here's why. Point number one.
Our debt service will be lower by just under $300 million over the life of the transaction.
Point two.
These transactions together allow for a reduction in the nominal debt stock. This is contrary to the notion that has been posited in some circles that the government is increasing the country's debt.
Point three relates to the ratio of Jamaica's debt to gross domestic product GDP.
This transaction has the effect of lowering the debt to GDP ratio by approximately 10%.
And it is going to allow us to achieve the March 2017 debt to GDP target of 127%, 20 months early. So this is a major accomplishment and a major benefit to the country from the Petrocaribe deal.
And point four.
The reduction in the debt to GDP ratio and the improvement in the country's risk profile means better interest rates, not just for Jamaica, but for all investors wanting to invest in Jamaica.
In addition, the Petrocaribe Development Fund, which was saving money and investing in projects to pay Venezuela when the oil debt payments were originally due in 2030, will now be required to pay Jamaica's central government.
The payments from the Petrocaribe Development Fund will allow further the government to improve the services that the government provides.
A number of stakeholders have commended the government for the Petrocarib debt buyback.
I think that the Petrocarib transaction puts Jamaica very firmly on the path to achieve the 2020 target of 96% debt to GDP. And this is an important milestone in the general economic reform program that we have undertaken.
And on the international scene,
international rating agencies like Standard & Poor's, Fitch, Moody's, they will take another look at Jamaica, and we may see that they give us a rating upgrade.
The International Monetary Fund also supported the Petrocarib debt buyback.
We welcome the recent Petrocarib liability management operation. It was a proactive and important step in reducing Jamaica's public debt.
The government of Jamaica, acting on strategic priority number 1, being financially responsible while pursuing policies to improve the economy.